All right. Okay, so I do have a student council announcement for you guys. This is your announcement. A Google form will be posted under high school news, Google Classroom. Oops. If you do not have that, I'm supposed to provide you with this code. The Google form will stay posted until the end of the day, Thursday, 9/2. Students should be voting for all positions in all classes. So a 9th grader can vote for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade positions, okay? Or vice versa. Students should be filling out the form entirely. Winners will be announced Friday. Not sure how yet, but it'll happen Friday. If you have questions or concerns, you can email Mr. Harris. So this is exactly the email that I got, so I copy pasted it for you to read, okay? So during advisory today, you should vote, or maybe tomorrow if you need a day to think about it. All right, I also have a poster here, and I have a note over there. And if anybody else wants to vote in my room, you can ask me and you can do that. Okay, but not right now, but during class. Shh. Okay, that was your announcement. You did your metrics lab. Everyone's turned it in, I'm assuming. Okay, do now. I'm seeing a lot of notebooks out, which is very good. Black pen, very good. Let's do this do now really quickly. So we had 368.34 microliters is how many milliliters? All right, if you need to consult your notes. But we had microliter down here, right? And how many boxes up was milliliter? So it was right next to it? Okay, so milliliters was 10 to the what? -3, right? 10 to the -6? Okay. So we are going to need to move our decimal which way and how many times? Left 3 times, okay? Left 3 times. So our answer would be 0.36834 milliliters. We good? Okay, because you will have probably 2 or 3 questions like that on your Unit 2 test. Okay, which is not today, it's not this week, but you don't need to know how to do that stuff. All right. Cool. We are going to go over our quiz. So, we're going to do this very quickly because, like I said, most of you did super good. Yes. So we are going to pass out this quiz, and oh, is my answer key in there? A lot of you got stickers because you did very well. Those are the, you got extra credit for the neon paper thing? Really? Send me an email to fix it.
Because dude, just asked her that, and she just said it. Please listen. You want to know? Oh, we're me and Terry. Not even.
Whoa.
Oh, isn't there?
Without extra credit, 16. Oh, there it is. All right, so, do you want to go outside and take, are you ready to take it? You can go outside and take it right now. Just give it to one of the people on the paper. You just leave it on my desk. Thank you. Here you go. You just set a table outside. Okay. 3 seconds. 0 seconds. Shh. Can you put your foot down, please? We're not that informal in here. Let's make sure everybody has their nose covered, constantly checking for that. Okay. So, first one, our independent variable. Even though you guys may have gotten 100%, you might want to listen because there might have been a better way for you to answer. Okay. For example, this first one. A lot of you guys put like caffeinated soda or not, or something caffeine. I really liked the students that put type of soda or type of drink. Okay. I got to do this quick. Type of drink would have been best. But if you put caffeine or caffeinated soda, I gave it to you. Dependent variable would have been the pulse rate because that's what we're measuring. Controlled variables. You guys did amazing on that. I'm not even going to go over that. I just mostly want to make sure we're good on IV and DV. Hypothesis also, I graded very easy. Okay, if you guys had some sort of format, there's multiple different formats you could use. Okay, so if you had a pretty good format and you made some sort of prediction, then I gave you the hypothesis. Okay, number 2. The redwood trees were kept at different humidity levels. So the independent variable would be humidity level. Okay. The dependent variable would be what we're measuring, the heights of the trees. Okay, you guys did wonderful on controlled variables and hypothesis. Number 3. Again, about caffeine. The experiment is carried out to determine if caffeine affects a person's appetite. One group got Starbucks, one group got water. So again, some of you guys put like Starbucks or caffeine. Technically what you were mentioning was one of your groups. But to state the variable, again, I would probably go with type of drink or type of liquid. And then under the type of liquid, you would have had water or Starbucks. Does that make sense? Yes. Amounts of caffeine would be good too, because you could have however much caffeine is in your Starbucks or 0. And if we really wanted to do a good experiment, we would have more than just 2 groups, right? Can you fix that? Who threw that? Is that an accident? Okay. No, it just, you were laughing at it, so I thought. I'm just traumatized because something was thrown in class Friday. I mean, yesterday. So I'm slightly traumatized about things flying through my classroom. Okay, last one, 3 different species of rose bushes. Again, on this one, a lot of people put like red, yellow, orange, pink. So you listed the groups. Really what I would rather have would be like species of rose bush, okay? Dependent variable would be the number of flowers. Controlled variables, hypothesis, you guys did well on that, okay? I do need to collect these back, so if you can make a pile at your table, and if somebody wants to go grab those for me. Huh? Oh, I thought I fixed that. Which part fixed that? All right. Thank you. All right. We need our lab notebooks open to your table of contents. Please, everybody hold up your red pen. Red. Oh my God, your black pen. Thank you. You know what I mean. It's getting worse every day, I swear. Tomorrow is only 7 weeks away. To give birth? Oh.
If you want to have an earlier
You might come early.
punch,
He's punching me from the inside.
I heard walking.
punch it down.
Yeah, I heard walking. And like jumping on
And I walk all day long.
You know what I heard? That my sister's to the whole house.
Yep. I've heard a lot of things, but I know moving is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we are starting our cheese lab. Scary. Scary. Okay. Nope. Next week. At this point, I'm just waiting. Waiting. All right, cheese production. Our first lab, like real lab, that we're going to be putting in our actual lab notebook. Okay. Remember, with the lab notebook, we want to write maybe a little slower, a little more careful. Not the end of the world if you make a mistake, but could be annoying. Okay. So we're going to, this is a formal document, so you want to think formality in mind. Okay. And when I ask you to write, you're going to write not super slow because we don't have that much time, but just a little slower, a little more careful. Yes. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Okay, so you have this in your lab manual. I might have you guys get that soon, but actually I have it kind of all on the screen. But actually we'll probably get that. So cheese production, the evolution of cheese making technology. Let's set up our table of contents. You are in your table of contents page. And I'm gonna have you set it up like this. Actually, let's get rulers. There's a box back there with rulers. Try to get a ruler for all the tables. Huh? Throw them all out. They look nice. I hope it's not that. I hope it's. Actually, it's.
If he's there, he's probably gonna start getting like the time.
No. Okay. John, I know you can't see this right now, but when you get back, John, I do have your lab notebook. I'll show you how to just kind of fill this out. Okay. But for now, you can kind of just listen along so you'll know what to do. And then when you get back, you can do it all. So you have rulers, you'll be all right. Okay, listen up. A couple of important things. Don't worry, this will get less stressful as we do it, okay? Good. Notice where your 3 punched holes are. You want to put your page, PG, to the right of that. Okay? So I don't know if you want to count however many boxes. Mine is like 4 blank boxes, and then I started writing page. You just want to make sure you're not going to be writing where the holes are, right? Okay. So page, then I left like maybe 3 boxes of space-ish. Then you're going to draw a vertical line all the way down and a horizontal line all the way across. Please put your lines like on the line. Okay? You can do it. Put your hand in the center of the ruler. Yep, there you go. You got it. You got it.
You're not gonna kill me if I mess up.
I'm not going to kill anyone unless you give my baby COVID. You do that. I guess I can't kill you. I'll be very, very mad.
You'll do the next best thing. What? Are you serious? So I went straight with the pen didn't do it.
So hit the table.
Just do it again. Do you want a different pen? Is that one time?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
If it is, it's gonna be
And then you will put lab title at the top. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a few moments. And if you want, you may do this for all of the other pages of your table of contents. I do want you to write today's title. Are you being serious? Sometimes you joke around. Okay. Ha, getting better at knowing Don't give me a heart attack. I'm not supposed to have high blood pressure right now.
No, you have to capitalize evolution. Fix it.
So, this is a title, so it should be capital. So don't, no, we're not gonna be mean. I know you're over there and I'm over here, but I don't want to trip on those cords. So if you did evolution like this, what do? Cross it out, fix it. Then yes, your initials and the date. What is it? 8:31? If there's a really neat way to fix it, you could try to fix it. But if it's not neat, cross it out, fix it. Yes, please do not write cheese production on all pages. If you're going on to page 3 just to do your lines, please don't write the title. Again. If anybody wants me to check, I can check. I trust you. We're making sure to write as neat as we can efficiently. It doesn't have to be like 1,000,000% neat, but pretty neat. Right? When I grade your labs, I will definitely be grading on neatness. Okay? So if you are a person that traditionally has more messy handwriting, this would be a good time to practice your neat handwriting. Oh, Mrs. here? Yes. Yes, what test is it? Oh, okay. And so you want me to have her bring it out? Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll look for it. Okay. Hold on. All right, so you're still doing your lines. Get up to page 5.
I didn't mess it up.
Oh, Mr. Lizzie. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we're right next door. You're all fine. Okay. How much longer do you need to finish your lines?
5 more minutes.
5 minutes.
3 more minutes.
I'm thinking 2. If you don't get all the way to page 5, you can finish it later. Ask what? It's not like you're gonna look at that page every day. It's gonna be fine. It's fine. Gonna be okay.
She's gonna be like, let's just stay after class.
Only on page 2. Yeah.
How do I know?
All right, so looking good. Good. Just the lines, but don't write the title. set up the page and lap titles. Yeah, but you can still put page. I'm about to take this down, so you guys all have at least one page done, right? Then you're just gonna do all your other pages tonight. All right.
It's good. This is long. I already know my last one here. Do we write lab title on all?
Yes, just don't write cheese, the cheese title. The next section we will be moving to is the background. So you're going to flip to page 6. Did you all write page 6 next to your title? Okay, so we're going to actually go to page 6. If you're not done with your lines, please finish that later. Okay? And we are going to write that title one more time. Cheese production, the evolution of cheese making technology. All right. Yep, I'm about to show you. So we are on page 6. Are you all on page 6? If you don't have page 6 numbered, you should. Top, yep, top right or top left, depending on which. We should all be on the same page because we started all on the same page, right? So we should all be writing number 6 on the top right corner. Yes? Okay. So you're going to write that title again. And I think it looks nice to underline it. So if you want to use your ruler for that, go ahead. Honestly, I didn't use it for background. You can tell it's not quite as straight, but it'll be all right either way. Don't write this. Don't write any of it. Just stop at background. Okay, there we go. All right. Notice I left a few boxes of space at the top. Just formatting looks nice that way. Again, you want to start writing to the right of your holes. So notice where I started writing background. There was 4 blank boxes, and then I started writing background. You don't want to be writing things and then you run into a hole that will look silly. We want margins, right? Like, you know, when you type a paper, you have margins. We want margins in our book as well. Freeze. Freeze. Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna everything is fine. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Good? I'm getting much feedback here. Thank you. Okay. Wonderful. You didn't write background yet.
Oh.
Okay. All righty, I'm moving on in 30 seconds. Actually, I'll move on now because I'm pretty sure at least one person at every table has it done. Okay. So I'm gonna start you guys off with a little video, or else this pre-lab is just gonna be copy, 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 copy. And then you're gonna be like, why did I take this class? So instead, I'm gonna break it up with some images and videos and things. So we created our background section. Here is a brief history of cheese. We can turn off the lights.
As early as 8000 BCE, the earliest Neolithic farmers living in the Fertile Crescent began a legacy of cheese making, almost as old as civilization itself. The rise of agriculture led to domesticated sheep and goats, which ancient farmers harvested for milk. But when left in warm conditions for several hours, that fresh milk began to sour. Its lactic acids caused proteins to coagulate, binding into soft clumps. Upon discovering this strange transformation, the farmers drained the remaining liquid, later named whey, and found the yellowish globs could be eaten fresh as a soft, spreadable meal. These clumps, or curds, became the building blocks of cheese, which would eventually be aged, pressed, ripened, and whizzed into a diverse cornucopia of dairy delights. The discovery of cheese gave Neolithic people an enormous survival advantage. Milk was rich with essential proteins, fats, and minerals, but it also contained high quantities of lactose, sugar which is difficult to process for many ancient and modern stomachs. Cheese, however, could provide all of milk's advantages with much less lactose, and since it could be preserved and stockpiled, these essential nutrients could be eaten throughout scarce famines and long winters. Some 7th millennium BCE pottery fragments found in Turkey still contain telltale residues of the cheese and butter they held. By the end of the Bronze Age, cheese was a standard commodity in maritime trade throughout the Eastern Mediterranean. In the densely populated city-states of Mesopotamia, cheese became a staple of culinary and religious life. Some of the earliest known writing includes administrative records of cheese quotas, listing a variety of cheeses for different rituals and populations across Mesopotamia. Records from nearby civilizations in Turkey also reference rennet. This animal byproduct, produced in the stomachs of certain mammals, can accelerate and control coagulation. Eventually, this sophisticated cheese-making tool spread around the globe, giving way to a wide variety of new, harder cheeses. And though some conservative food cultures rejected the dairy delicacy, many more embraced cheese and quickly added their own local flavors. Nomadic Mongolians used yak's milk to create hard, sun-dried wedges of bulaslag. Egyptians enjoyed goat's milk cottage cheese, strained away with fats. In South Asia, milk was coagulated with a variety of food acids, such as lemon juice, vinegar, or yogurt, and then hung to dry into loaves of paneer. This soft, mild cheese could be added to curries and sauces, or simply fried as a quick vegetarian dish. The Greeks produced bricks of salty, brined feta cheese, alongside a harder variety similar to today's Pecorino Romano. This grating cheese was produced in Sicily and used in dishes all across the Mediterranean. Under Roman rule, dry cheese, or Caseus aridus, became an essential ration for the nearly 500,000 soldiers guarding the vast borders of the Roman Empire. And when the Western Roman Empire collapsed, cheesemaking continued to evolve in the manners that dotted the medieval European countryside. In the hundreds of Benedictine monasteries scattered across Europe, medieval monks experimented endlessly with different types of milk, cheesemaking practices, and aging processes that led to many of today's popular cheeses. Parmesan, Roquefort, Munster, and several Swiss types were all refined and perfected by these cheese-making clergymen.
All
In
the
the
cheese
Alps,
have
Swiss
faces.
cheesemaking was particularly successful, producing a myriad of cow's milk cheeses. By the end of the 14th century, Alpine cheese from the Gruyere region of Switzerland had become so profitable that a neighboring state invaded the Gruyere highlands to take control of the growing cheese trade. Cheese remained popular through the Renaissance, and the Industrial Revolution took production out of the monastery and into machinery. Today, the world produces roughly 22 billion kilograms of cheese a year, shipped and consumed around the globe. But 10,000 years after its invention, local farms are still following in the footsteps of their Neolithic ancestors, handcrafting one of humanity's oldest and favorite foods. Find out how Swiss cheese gets its sales by watching this episode. Or
With what?
it's a fascinating and fun.
I think some people use that. I know I've seen at least a few videos saying, like, don't get rid of your whey, and then it'll tell you like what you could use it for. I think a lot of times it is discarded, but I've also heard that there are uses for it as well. Okay. Anybody in the mood for a piece of cheese now? I was just thinking, I just bought some string cheese yesterday. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get home and have some string cheese. I like cheese, but I'm not like one of those like super fancy cheese people. Actually, I don't like Parmesan.
What?
It's weird. So I always say no to the Parmesan. But if you want to put mozzarella on things, I'll take that all day long. I do like blue cheese. And blue cheese is probably as stinky as I get. No, I do not.
But it's good.
Okay. Here is some cheese pictures. So
I like brie. She's really good. And
brie. So I'm actually not allowed to have brie right now. As a pregnant person, you're not allowed to eat soft cheese, which brie is a soft cheese, right?
Yeah, you ever put it in cut some apples up and then I'll get the apples with brown sugar and then put the brie on top of it and then put it in the oven. It's so good.
Huh. When I'm not pregnant, I'll have to try it.
I'll bring you
Tomorrow.
so you can eat it.
This tells you, actually, I don't know the colors. Maybe that's the flag. This is like where it's from. I don't know what these colors mean. And this is the animal that it comes from. We have sheep, cow, goat. You guys see anything else?
Yeah, we see ox, sheep.
Yeah, what's the one at the very bottom? Definitely some on here you probably haven't heard of, right?
I've heard of everything.
Here is another
Gorgonzola is
cheese wheel. I know you probably can't read any of that, but you can see how many cheeses there are, and that's still probably not all of them. But you can see that most of our cheese comes from cow, then goat and sheep, and I actually cannot read that.
Wait, cheddar cheese is British?
All right. Here's another quick video. So I don't have to feel bad when I have you guys copying down lots of information. Huh? No, sorry.
Go to the local Stater Brothers. They have cheese there.
Yeah. Huh? Yes. All right. Shh. Don't you want to know about crazy cheeses?
That one doesn't look very good. It doesn't look like it melts nice.
I can't hear.
Gray rind on the outside of it, which is formed by lots of different types of mold. Gives it
Mold.
a spicy, peppery bite, almost similar to the flavors in a blue cheese. The next cheese that I really love is one called Greenwood. Greenwood is a cheese that we have created here at Murray's Cheese in collaboration with the sellers at Jasper Hill. The sellers at Jasper Hill make these young wheels of cow's milk cheese. They wrap them in spruce bark and they ship them down to us in New York when they're still young.
Spruce
We keep them in our caves, and after about 2 to 3 weeks of being washed with a hard cider, you get this beautiful orange rind on the outside. It has a pretty funky smell, And if you cut into it, it's gonna have the texture of pudding. You can just scoop it right
To
out.
me, that's weird.
The flavors are
Soft
reminiscent
pudding
of
cheese.
fruit or
You gotta
wet
think
corn.
about it as
There's a lot
nacho
of bacony notes and maybe even
I don't
some
like
brandy
nacho
cherries.
cheese.
Well, you try lovers out there. That is what the cheese called.
I make my own nachos at home with like Mexican cheese sprinkle on it.
beans.
Put it on milk.
Family has been farming
got all
the plants.
Well, yeah, then I put it in the toaster.
They make large wheels of cloth-bound cheddar. So they wrap these 40-pound wheels in cloth, rub them down with lard, and then stick them in the cave to age. This particular batch is aged for 2 years.
2-year-old cheese. Yum.
Frothy, vinegary note. Pretty common theme in a lot of these cave-aged cheeses. Next up is my personal favorite. Etivas is one that I just picked. Etivas was created by Gruyere producers in the early 1900s who thought that the AOC was limiting the authenticity of their production. So they created a much more authentic version. and
She
named
knows
it
too much about cheese.
The cheeses are only made from everything else and made kind of scary. Not covered in the
Like there's cheese people.
That's
like too much, right?
Look at all
Look at all that cheese around her. It's crazy.
That's the most cheese in a frame I've ever seen.
All right, we're moving on. That's enough. I'm bored.
No, there was one more cheese.
Wait, okay, so this is what we're gonna do next. I have some reading to do to you. If you feel like you're gonna want to read along with me, you may grab a lab manual. Or you can just listen. Everything I'm reading is gonna be on the screen. You're not gonna write anything yet. So like literally pens down. I would rather you not write while I'm reading. Okay. When we're done, when I'm done reading to you, then I will give you 8 minutes. Oh, no, we'll do the writing tomorrow, but I'm gonna start reading today. So then you're gonna take 8 minutes to write a 5-sentence summary of the main point, okay? So like I said, if you feel like you wanna read along with me, what's on the screen, you can grab a lab manual, but you don't need that yet. Okay, so this literally is your lab manual, a screenshot of it. So the cheese making industry is huge and has a great number and variety of products. Sorry, remember, from this information, you're gonna write a summary. Okay, so you're remembering this information for a summary. Cheese making is a good example of how biotechnology has improved an industrial process. In the past, people made cheese simply by letting the naturally occurring bacteria in milk turn the milk sour. In that process, the bacteria use milk sugar, lactose, as an energy source and produce lactic acid, a waste product. Lactic acid also causes the mixture to have a mild to slightly bitter taste. Along with other flavorful compounds, the lactic acid gives the cheese a characteristic flavor. The milk bacteria produce special enzymes, proteins that speed up reactions, that convert the lactose to lactic acid. So we have bacteria that's naturally occurring, create enzymes, and then that enzyme converts the sugar lactose into lactic acid, which is what gives part of the flavor. Lactic acid has a low pH and causes the milk protein casein to denature and fall out of solution. Other enzymes called proteases may also act on casein. Proteases cleave proteins such as casein into smaller fragments that will also fall out of solution. The lumps of denatured casein are called curds. Okay, so that the curds is like the solid part that will turn into the cheese. Curds are pressed together to form cheese. The liquid remaining after curdling is called whey. Yeah. No. You're gonna use your armpits to make it. Using early methods. Using early methods, cheesemakers started new batches with a small amount of cheese containing the enzyme producing bacteria they had saved from a batch of curdled milk that produced good cheese. So once they got good cheese, they would save a little bit of that and use that to make all the cheese in the future. Okay, people do this with bread as well. Also, if you know kombucha, that's how kombucha is made. You have a mother and then you keep using that to make the new stuff. It's called a mother. Yes. I had a friend who made kombucha, so I learned a little bit about it. Although some cheese is still produced in this fashion today, most commercially made cheese is produced in one of the 4 ways listed below, which is actually on the next slide. In each method, sterilized milk is used as a starting reagent. Here we go, 5 things about cheese. Believe that it was discovered around 8000 BC. So further solidifying our idea that biotech has been around for a long time. Cheese comes from the Latin word caseus. Early cheeses were very salty as a means of preservation. Over time, less salt was needed and cheeses became creamier. And those are like the fancy cheeses, right? The soft cheese. Mass production of cheese didn't occur until 1815 in Switzerland. All right. Yeah. So basically there's 4 different ways, and these 4 different ways of cheese making are going to be the 4 different things that we're going to do in our lab. So tomorrow we'll start with going over those 4 different ways. Actually, I'm going to read this part to you. We're going to skip to the end of the background section. Scientists work to create new and improved versions of cheese curdling enzymes, as well as to improve the yields and qualities of cheeses. Modern day cheesemakers want to produce large amounts of high quality cheese in the most economical way. So I found on Amazon, you could buy this $250 book called Technology of Cheesemaking.
We have you.
Or you could buy it used for $100. I know it. Well, it's kind of the price of a college textbook. Hence my surprise emoji face.
You didn't buy it, right?
No.
Okay.
I screenshotted it to show you guys. Wow, look at this. Like, this is how serious people get about cheese. It is.
But
Probably like
imagine selling someone armpit cheese though. That's a scam.
We'll watch this tomorrow. I have a video on one place and how they make cheese.
Let's just watch it.
And Okay. I specifically do not want you to write your background section yet. So before you start packing up, remember, you should be, if you are ready to vote, you may go vote. About the break time. I'm changing my mind on that. I will let 2 or 3 people out at a time for 2 minutes. If you are so starving that you can't wait 15 minutes to eat, you can do it in 2 minutes. I really do need you guys in here being productive. Also, we're not packing up 5 minutes early anymore. We will pack up 2 minutes early. Okay? So nobody leaves unless you specifically ask me. And actually, I would rather you not leave, because you should be here, do 15 minutes of work, and then you can go have your break after school. Okay? So please collect the rulers and put them back in the box. You may put your notebooks away.
What if my stuff's in room 32?
You mean your stuff? All of your stuff?
No, just like my.
Well, then you can go get it after school.
Oh, I see how it is. You're gonna like.
You can be hungry for 15 minutes. I can do it, you can do it.
We were looking at like.
Let's turn on a light, please.
What?
It's in the cover.
You know what? You could have done it.
Yes. I'm not productivity from everybody. You should be on a Chromebook. You should be doing a worksheet. You have a cheese due tonight. You have things to do. Nobody is really good at asking me. There you go, Miranda.
No, not to you, not to you.
You just do it or not, up to you. What are we doing to be productive right now? Yep. Art, what are you doing to be productive, Aisha? Okay. Achieve. Where is my poster? Your collage.
Irresponsible.
Why it
Irresponsible.
take so long? Everybody's turning in, but you. Get your glasses and make the color that way. That'd be great. Okay, so we're all doing something here. What are we doing here to be productive? Doesn't look like anything. Come on. Put the rulers away, please. Straighten this down. I'm waiting for an answer to my question. And I never said that we could change it.
Go back.
But they're actually working, so I'm not really worried. Can you stop? There's nothing in there to be done, although you have to sign it. I'm not gonna let you do a lab unless you sign it. Pen right there. You. Arthur, did you find a different article? Did you finish it?
Oh, it's like just
No. Are you in Tesla?
yeah.
Either. That's not your grade. You have all A's? Wonderful. Let's see. Brush with Nature project. How's that going?
I'm not racist.
Really? Mine's right says nose uncovered. Nice, I'm glad. So now you know how to play chess. Sammy, where's your brush with Nature project on? What are you drawing? Sunflower. What are you drawing? Do some research.
Using a rat.
What?
Rat.
Okay, what are you zooming in on?
Rat.
A rat?
Rat tail.
Rat tail?
I'm
No,
doing
just
the
like-
grade.
Okay, his hair is like not super exciting.
No, just a rat's face.
So you need a microscopic. Like you could do a rat brain neuron. Come on, get on your Chromebook and find something. Find something that you're gonna draw. Something good.
Someone, come here.
Something exciting. If you have no idea what you want, you go to sciencephoto-library.com or you can look up videos on YouTube. Microscope SEM. Or what's one like you can do, for example, like a skeleton and zoom in on a bone. You could do a mushroom, but what are you gonna zoom in on? There, go to mushroom SEM.
What is this Wi-Fi?
Maybe if there's a scientific article telling you that I believe.
What?
I'm just telling you. Yeah, or how many brain cells might be killed. I'm done with research. Much better that we are doing work in child crazy. And one thing you can look up is drugs. Most drugs are not legal.
Well, no.
But methamphetamine.
Like marijuana. It also looks like a drug.
Right, you could do trichomes if you want. So that's really what you're into.
I'm not a drug.
You could do
That's the last person to tell. That's the last person to tell.
I signed that little red ribbon.
Oh.
It's a laptop.
I haven't done this yet. So I used to never do it. They use it. I'm not like good for you, but I'll give it to you.
yeah, so figure out what class that is. Just do regular ones.
This was there.
That's cool.
This was there. I sent something to RC on my phone. So I don't want to log in. Google Classroom.
Is it a document you're supposed to be sharing?
Yes, it's no. I don't want to log into my phone.
Oh, okay.
How do you know that you're on?
Spanish too.
I didn't say anything, I just said, oh.
That's why we.
She was like, make sure you invite me. She's like, literally, my girlfriend's 4 years.
Here, what about this? Tree?
And that's not really an SEM.
Yeah.
And then when I go to the high school, you
My eyes are like.
have
And then my eyes are off. Or say, what's your number? No way, I'm like.
to do what?
I wouldn't know. Why would I know?
Like your phone, I And you only have to do the sources. Not the whole thing.
Now, we're talking about your project.
At the end of the review, but it's mostly just the sources that you do. The rest of the paper, it has to be high school. But it's only the sources that have to be.
Oh, is it the whole?
Or they tell you to fill out a survey. Or am I gonna go to the cruise one and I just go on and write them a script? No, you said
Actually,
it shop.
you're not supposed to have your name in your own. Because when you turn it into
What the-
ID graders, they
I
want
want
to
to
know.
I don't have a car.
So take your name in.
Here now.
Yes. Actually,
Oh,
we're
I
supposed to
thought-
do their
Dude, this guy got checkmated 6 times.
So I would put ID number and highlight it so you know the record.
Yeah, your permit.
I will.
I had to do
Miss
driver's
Espinosa
license. I don't know how to do driver's.
Three.
Wait, what? I guess it's
She I might have your email somewhere. If I don't find them, email her.
I got
I got it.
$40 for that.
No, I got it. That's what you're.
And then I do it for 30 hours.
No, I got it for free and then I gave it to Edna. And then we did it. Yeah, no, it looks beautiful. So just ask. I would choose it. I said, give me.
Well, are you doing it right now?
Yeah. No, you definitely are really good. Sir. I would whatever feedback. And then what you're gonna do is fix it the best you can. Turn it in again. I'll grade it. I can't give you feedback again, but if you want more feedback, you can. So after you get it graded, it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Definitely want to get. It's on your own credit and see how you do. When you have back.
Well, see, I thought I had a different, I would like, whenever I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. You know, then the next section that you turn in.
Oh, this was it.
Yeah, we got you.
You guys know how to do that?
Basically, I'm just looking at your paper.
I thought I was doing it.
All right, you may pack up. I said, we snap and chairs. Make sure all the coolers are away. I'll take my pen. Where do we have a pen? I'll take it. So I'll take. Oh, I probably should have ended my recording a long time ago. Oh man.